It's an illness that kills more people a year than road traffic accidents, and the South East has the highest number of incidents in the country. Mesothelioma is a type of cancer caused by exposure to asbestos. For many sufferers, claiming compensation has been difficult, but a new law is about to make it easier. But does it go far enough? Our reporter Sarah Neville went to speak to sufferers and campaigners to find out why they say the bill is a missed opportunity.
I started in 1953 as a shipwright apprentice at 15.
Ray Nye from Sea Salter in Kent worked at Chatham Dockyard, in heavy industry like thousands of people in the South East, where use of asbestos was widespread. He married his childhood sweetheart, Mavis, but 60 years on, Mavis has mesothelioma, an aggressive form of lung cancer caused by breathing in asbestos fibres whilst washing her husband's work clothes.
I've said ever since that diagnosis that it's me, it's my fault, that I give it to her, because I brought it home on my clothes. We've discussed this at length, haven't we? Because I still feel guilty.
But I don't think he should be guilty. The government in that time should feel guilty.
Nearby in Sheppey, Italian Roberto Zambada was a shipbreaker. He died from mesothelioma 2 years ago after working with asbestos for some 30 years.
I've been on my own and I've just sobbed, and you know, because I knew there was nothing I can do.
They never put themselves in that situation to develop this horrible disease. People knew and chose not to do anything about it. So people should be held accountable.
The South East has one of the highest rates of mesothelioma in the world. It's incurable, usually kills within months of diagnosis, and has 10 times less funding for research than some other cancers. It can take decades for mesothelioma to develop, which makes claiming compensation difficult because many of the firms where asbestos was used no longer exist. Historically, for those who could trace their company or their company's insurers, damages of up to £200,000 could be claimed in civil actions. But for those that couldn't, there was no hope of any significant payout until now. The government's introducing a new £350 million compensation scheme worth an average of £115,000 per person as part of the mesothelioma bill. It's a positive step, but the deal is capped at 75% of the average amount of compensation that sufferers would have received in a civil case. And there's a cut-off point for eligibility. Anyone diagnosed before July 2012 can't claim. And there's no extra cash for research. So all in all, is this a good deal for sufferers?
I think that the insurance industry negotiated hard with the government. I think the government did a good thing in trying to make sure that the compensation levels were higher than originally proposed. So victims will get 75% of the compensation that they would ordinarily get if they'd gone through a civil process. I tried to get that raised to 80%. I think that would have meant a better deal for victims of mesothelioma, and it would have not cost the insurance industry a great deal of amount of money more. So I think it's a bit of a shame that the government didn't push a little bit harder.
Mavis Nye, who now campaigns on the issue, feels let down.
There's a lot going on in USA and Australia, but not us. Not to the extent that they are. They're really sort of plunging the money into it all, and we just need some money for research.
I feel that if anybody was to unintentionally take somebody's life, they're add up for manslaughter, aren't they? And yet, this has been taking so many people's lives, and what are they given? A handout. So, you know, it's not as much as money, it's as much as having justice for those that are going to die with it.
The bill comes into effect later this year, but campaigners say that doesn't mean the fight is over.
I wanted to make it a better bill. We had cross-party consensus to do that. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but I think that we will continue as a cross-party group to make sure that we do get better justice for victims of mesothelioma and we do get more money into research.
Use of asbestos was banned in 1999, but some industrial workers are now paying the ultimate price. And the question remains, have government efforts to give justice to victims been a missed opportunity?
Sarah Neville reporting. Well, we were hoping to talk to the Minister who's overseen this legislation, Mike Penning, but he couldn't join us. We're going to cross to Chatham and talk to Mark Reckless, the Rochester MP. And Mr Reckless, like Tracy Crouch, you wanted this bill to go further. So do you think it was a missed opportunity?
Well, I think it's a good bill, and I think the government have taken this opportunity. I'm really proud of what Tracy's been doing to make it a better bill still, and I'm sorry she didn't succeed in getting it up to 80%. But we voted for more research and the insurance industry to support that. And I just wish we could have gone a little further. But
yeah,
I do think it's good.
What do you think was happening here? I mean, do you think the government blinked too soon in the face of opposition from the insurance companies?
Well, I think the government negotiated with the insurers and they then tried to present that as a done deal to Parliament. And I think actually we could have pushed the insurance industry a little further, as Tracy was trying to do. And I feel particularly sorry for largely women like Mavis if they were sort of washing their husband's overalls or something like that and were exposed that way. I think it's really sad when we don't have compensation for people in that scenario, but we have Chatham Dockyard here in the Medway Towns, and at least this bill is going to make some things better and get 3/4 at least compensation for people who wouldn't otherwise have got it. So that's something I welcome.
And returning to that deal with the insurance industry, Labour has accused the government of having a vested interest. He says that the industry has bankrolled the Conservative Party for years. Is that what's going on here, do you think?
Well, I don't think that is fair, actually. I think the insurance industry is putting a lot of money into this. I mean, even paying a 3/4 compensation rather than the 80% Tracy was pushing for is going to be a lot of money. I wish we'd gone a little further, but it's been good to work with people from different parties and to support Tracy on this. It's been a good campaign, and I think something that's really deserved for people who've suffered from this terrible disease, particularly who works or have been associated with Chatham Dockyard in our area in the Medway Towns.
I was going to say another criticism of this bill is that this cut-off point of July 2012, anyone diagnosed before then, and many of your constituents must be in this situation, won't get anything at all. That seems ever so cruel.
Yeah, I mean, people who can be clear where the employer was, and I think for the dockyard that is clear, they should be able to get compensation. The issue is where people haven't been able to put it on a particular employer, or where the employer's gone out of business or their insurance company's gone out of business, and that's what we're trying to deal with here. And there are a lot of people who will be helped because of this bill who wouldn't otherwise would have been. I wish we'd been able to go a bit further, but I still think it's a good policy which will help quite a lot of people.
And where do we go from here? We've heard about the issue of funding, that there isn't much research done into this horrible disease, and that as a result of this deal the government's done, there won't be any funding for research coming from the insurance companies. What do we do next?
Well, we won't be forcing that in this legislation because we didn't win that vote that Tracy and I supported for the increased research. But I hope the insurance industry will listen to the strength of support and feeling on this, and perhaps on a voluntary basis look if they could perhaps support rather more research into this terrible illness, because I think they'll get goodwill from that, and I think we really should recognise the work Tracy Crouch and others have done to push for it for the victims who clearly deserve that support and understanding. OK,
Mark Reckless, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Clarence Mitchell, do you think the government should have pushed for money for funding, or was that about as good a deal as we could have expected?
With something as awful as this, we should never be satisfied if it's not the full compensation that is due to somebody who has suffered, as you say, from this awful disease. I mean, in Brighton alone, we had 23 registered deaths from it between 2011 and 12.
And those deaths are going to rise.
Exactly, because this is the so-called long-tail disease. The effects of it only come out in later life, and sadly, many people who get it don't have much.
So the government should have gone further, fought harder with the insurance companies to maybe get that funding, find out what causes it.
Tracy's campaign, as Mark Reckless just said, was fantastic. It has yielded great results, but the insurance companies now, the onus is on them to be sympathetic and to understand the way that the bill is moving and the way that public opinion is moving. They really should help people. If there is a demonstrable case where compensation is due, frankly, they should get the 100%.
Is it realistic to expect the insurance companies to make a voluntary contribution? Because they would argue, Jasper, that this isn't their problem.